What is going on? I'm getting the red on air sign, which means we are live. I'm Jeff. This is the Kiesel Guitars live Q&A. If you're new to our live Q&A, I have a deal of the live, which my sign is missing. Brandon, you're fired. I have a customer guitar to show off. Talk about guitars today. So this is your opportunity to start typing in your questions. Ask me whatever you want to know. Let's get some good ones today. Not that they weren't good last week, but let's get some good ones in this week.
They were kind of bad last week.
They were kind of bad.
Get some better ones. Come on, guys.
Better questions.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we had the DC 127 launch last week, right? That was last Wednesday.
That was last week.
Yeah, man, that thing is like, it's rocking. We are selling a lot of DC 127s. We're just about sold out, so I guess that's a good talking point. Also fired Brandon because of my little notes board is still not working. We got this really cool teleprompt screen that is right overhead of the camera so that it reminds me to, talk about certain things. And we have not used it for, probably a year, right? It's probably been a year.
I was going to say, I only use it usually during our big sales or model releases.
Yeah, I know. It'd be nice just to have it, though. It does help. Even if it's just like there's a picture of my cat up there or something.
It's like, don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck this up. Speaking of my cat, for whatever reason last night, I couldn't sleep. I'm laying there. I go to bed at like 10. I'm old, And I'm laying there and I keep tossing and turning. I'm looking at the clock and it's about 12:30. So I've been in bed 2.5 hours, still not asleep. My cat jumps down from the shelf and then gets on the bed and lays next to me, which she never does because my wife's cat is such a jealous little guy that he will jump on the bed, even though he's not on there, scare my cat, attack her, scare her off the bed, Kira, and then she goes back onto the shelf and hides. Well, she snuck onto the bed and pushed right against my chest and then pushed her way underneath my arm and so wanted me to cuddle her. I think she was cuddling me because she could tell I was anxious and I couldn't sleep. So that was pretty cool. Even though I got really crappy sleep, as far as the amount of sleep, I got good quality cuddles with Kira. So that was really awesome. So I remember looking at the clock at 4:30 and then I finally fell asleep and I'm back up at 6 a.m. So I'm on an hour and a half sleep. So if I look pretty bad, that's why. It's not because I'm old, because I'm tired. Anyway, deal of the live. We got this beautiful Kyber in olive drab green, satin, roasted neck, roasted fingerboard. Got the ring inlays. Let me see what pickups. We got Empyrean Thorium, black chrome hardware. Got the black logo on there. Just a beautiful guitar. I love the contrast of the roasted with the green. Got the launch Kyber limited edition backplate. We're letting this go for $16.99. If you want a Kyber, you don't have to wait for this one. This thing is light. I'm going to say it's right at 6 pounds. Might even be less. I'm going to go 5.9.
Should we weigh it?
We should weigh it. So what happens if I'm wrong?
You got to discount it, right?
We got to discount it. If I'm right, what happens? I got to pay more?
Yeah, you increase the price.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to weigh it, or what are we doing?
We're going to weigh it over here.
Do you have the screen, or no? You don't have the camera on that thing anymore?
No.
All right, Savannah, what do we got? Savannah's weighing it. Savannah's like, I want Jeff to be wrong.
What was your guess?
5.9?
5.5.
Oh, shit, 5.5? Dang. Wow, I guess I am that tired. I'm feeling pretty weak. 5.5 pounds. That's pretty amazing. I wonder if that scale is accurate, though. Sorry, Savannah.
Yeah, that's the really nice scale that Nori bought us.
Oh, it is. Okay, so it's got to be good then.
Yeah. That's how Nori is with
So
weights.
5.5 pound Kyber. It's not on the website. You can call in and get this exact guitar. 858 Guitars, $16.99 takes it home. We can ship it out tomorrow. Speaking of shipping out guitars, I got a guitar for Benjamin Sanchez. We had an estimated completion date of 8/13. No, that's the charge balance date. What's the date? 8/1. And what are we on? We are on 8/13. So we're 12 days late on this guitar, but look at how awesome this poplar burl topped natural to blue fade with the black bursted body and the black on the bevel on the front and that maple board with the abalone inlays. This is so hot. Abalone knobs. Just love how this looks. Such a sick looking instrument. And, you know, having these, they're just so ergonomic. They just sit right there. I'm not holding the guitar. It just sits so nice in your lap. So yeah, the Kybers sit great in classical. So do these. This is the O2 model, the 2nd gen Osiris with all the new improvements. And what a sick one. So congratulations on that. That will be shipping out as soon as we have, I guess, the final balance paid for. So to order your own custom guitar, we're still doing 20% deposits. That may change at some point, but that's what we're still doing is 20%. That gets you started. We're running anywhere as quick as 8 weeks for a fully customizable guitar, all the way to could be a year, depending on, you know, and when I say a year, that's going to be something crazy that I'm working on. It's not going to be your, you know, just normal build. But 8 to 14, 15 weeks is, you know, what we're running. So what do you guys want to know?
All right, we got to start off with this first one. How about $10 off per ounce you are off?
I don't know, but I feel like if I'm heavy, if I say it's too light, I feel like we should take money off because I like falsely advertise it. But if I say it's too heavy, I almost feel like you guys should pay because the guitar's lighter.
Oh, it's $40 more than
$40 more. No,
$17.39.
I think if I can't guess, if I feel like if it's lighter than it really is, that's when we should definitely take money off. What do you guys think about that? That sound fair? But we need like this, like a cut to screen where they're watching it, you know? We need one of those scales that like fucks with you that's like, and it's like going forever. And then finally like shows the weight. Price is wrong, bitch. Anybody see Happy Gilmore 2? I think we talked about this. Did we talk about this last week? No? Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know if we talked about it on the live or just
but we talked about it.
Yeah.
It was funny. I mean, it was, I guess, worth the watch. You know, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it, but I would definitely check it out. There's some pro golfers in there. My dad's an avid golfer, and one of the guys that my dad knows, a younger kid, he grew up playing at the same country club my dad was members at, so he knew the kid really good, this guy Xander, and he's in the movie, and he's kind of got this role in there it's actually pretty funny. So I don't think my dad's seen the movie yet. I told him to watch it, but he's like, oh, Xander's in there? I'm like, yeah, Dad. He's like, oh, yeah, I'll check it out. Probably hasn't watched it yet. So if you're watching the live, Dad, watch Happy Gilmore 2. Didn't that come out a while ago?
I was gonna say, your mom probably has it on.
Yeah, you never know.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant Happy Gilmore 2.
No, I meant this live.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, what else, Brandon?
Chris is asking, can we get pickups painted in copper penny metallic?
I don't see why not. Yeah, we should be able to do that. It would be a custom charge because it's not something we normally do. So we'll have to charge you a little bit more, but I don't see why we couldn't do that.
Can you guys paint custom graphics? For example, a military patch. Thanks, man.
That'd be super cool. Maybe at some point we'll be able to do stuff like that. We're just still not doing that. A lot of that stuff, though, just so you guys know, is actually not painted. It's actually printed. So they'll do a print, like they'll have a guitar that has a flat top. They'll put it into a special printer, and it'll actually print all the color right on the guitar, and then it gets clear coated to kind of seal it off. So a lot of that high production stuff is actually not painted. It's a special printer.
John is asking, do you offer financing on in-stocks?
We do. Yeah, we have the Kiesel card. You can go on and apply for that. We have nothing to do with the approval process. So like if you apply and you get turned down, it's not us, you know, it's Synchrony Bank. So you can go on there and you could apply.
Nick Kemp is asking, can you do a lizard burst fade like yellow to green?
What's up, Nick? Yeah, we could do that, man, for sure.
Would a swamp ash body with a raw tone finish, roasted maple neck, and ebony board have the fastest build time?
I mean, it's raw tones typically are going to be quicker. The biggest thing that is helping build times is going to be a bolt-on construction. It allows us to work on both parts independently of each other. A raw tone does also save us some steps in production as far as the sealers. But what we do have to do is we have to sand it more. So in one area, we're saving some time. In another area, we're spending more time. So a raw tone bolt-on, in theory, should be the fastest. And then if you're really wanting it to be fast, headless bolt-on raw tone. Not Jeff to do finish.
Are kill switches available on any other models besides the Sophie Lloyd? I'm looking for a 7-string multi-scale with one.
Yeah, we can add a kill switch. We probably should look at maybe offering some kind of a option for that. The hardest thing with a kill switch is going to be the battery box, not the actual kill switch, because that's just, we figure out where we're going to put it, and then we just drill a hole, right? And we add the kill switch. It's the battery. So if the guitar is a passive guitar, we don't have a battery box. So we need some way of powering that switch. That's going to be our hard one. If you're okay with the battery being inside the cavity, like the actual electronics cavity back here, that would make things easier for us and could potentially lower some costs for you because we're not routing out the back of the guitar and then putting in a large battery box.
Is a 5-way switch still an option on the CT6?
Yeah, we do a 5-way switch on that. Yeah, haven't been asked that in a long time. I think that's only on a 24 fret, though. I don't think we do a 5-way on a 22, if my memory serves me right.
Here's a fun one from Ken. Would you rather have fingers as long as your legs or legs as long as your fingers?
Ooh. Dude, I'm going with fingers as long as my legs, man. I'd have to do that because if my legs are as long as my fingers, that sounds painful. I don't know. All those steps, your hips are working overtime. Could you imagine that? You're like...
You have to have some strong fingers.
Moving like, I don't know if they say as long as, right?
No, I got some strong legs with...
Well, they didn't say as small. Like they could still be tree stumps, but they're gonna be,
sure.
Yeah, you got your thighs, but they're like that long,
I was literally imagining it like the overall dimensions of your fingers as a leg.
No. I'm thinking like that's it. Like that's my leg. What's going on? That's what I'm thinking.
So
right?
you'd be
it's the
like,
same size, and my foot goes right there. Dude, that would be hard. Like, I'm coming, guys. I'm coming. I wouldn't get anything done around here.
So you'd be more of a waddle than a walk.
Yeah, I'd probably just take my fingers and put them in a pencil sharpener if they were as long as my legs and just shorten them down. I think that'd be an easier operation than
leg extensions.
Yeah, leg extensions. Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Any chance we'll see a compound radius or something less than a 20-inch radius on an 8-string?
No, I don't think that's going to be, an option. And the reason why is when you're doing compound radiuses, you have to start with thicker fingerboard material or thinner necks and then a thicker fingerboard. Just the way we do our construction, it doesn't really allow for that in a quick, solution type of setting. In fact, we don't even offer compound radius on a 7-string. You can get compound on a 6. We've discontinued compound on a 7, and to my knowledge, we haven't even offered it on an 8. Because as that radius, if you go, let's say this is a 20, and then you go down to a 10, and you have a really wide fretboard, you're just eating through the fretboard out on the sides, or you're starting with a much thicker blank. And that's also a problem because now your height at where your neck is sitting in the pocket or where the body sides are glued on, you're not able to get it to not intonate. You're not able to get the height set right for your bridge, and then for your pickups, because it's going to raise in the middle, right? So, because if you run out of room on the edges and you eat through the side dots, right, essentially, then you have to raise the middle up, and that creates a whole nother problem.
What would you consider a good all-around top/body combo for an AC2, or what premium top woods do you think would resonate well with that guitar?
For me, what I really like about the AC2 is I love a solid color one. I think they look so elegant, so classy. And I know I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot because, you know, here's my opportunity to like upsell you on like a crazy top and get you to spend more money. But I really think the AC2 is awesome as a solid color. You can do a mahogany body. We could put a spruce top on it. I think that's a great combo. We could paint it all solid, or we could paint, you know, just like the top and then leave the beveled edge where the body is natural. I think both those are really good looks. I love just an all black one, satin. There's just something about it. They just look awesome. Like a satin black one with a roasted bird's eye maple fretboard, all satin black, the whole entire guitar. And then the heads, you know, matching headstock. I think that looks really cool. Maybe gold hardware, maybe some black ring inlays. I think that's a really cool look. Not an expensive guitar by our standards either, too, and by what you get, you know, the American made, the high quality that we offer. It's a very affordable guitar. You know, but yeah.
Will the Kyber only be available with that headstock?
So you can call in and get a different headstock. We've had a couple orders where people have called in and changed the headstock. We can absolutely do it. It just makes it your guitar, meaning you waive your 10-day trial period. You know, we've balanced this instrument out looks-wise and balance-wise, like physically balanced with this headstock. And so by deviating from this, it really makes the guitar very, you know, I guess kind of hard for us to resell because it's not going to balance as good or match the look as good in our opinion. And that's why we will do it. But we're asking you to take the guitar, keep it, and that's it. All sales final. You'll still have your warranty and all that. It's just you don't have the ability to go, hey, that really wasn't for me. Like, okay. We don't want it back because it can be hard to resell.
Got two questions from Mike. He's asking, can you do a thin purple burst on a flame top and do walnut necks pair well with roasted ash bodies?
Yes and yes. We can do a thin burst. That would be a call in. That's no problem. We can do it either like a California style pattern. We can even add like a trans black to the outer edges of that thin. So we can do that. It's not a problem. As far as the walnut neck, I think walnut looks really nice against roasted woods. You know, the roasted ash is a beautiful wood, and I think walnut looks great against it. Sonically, it's good too because the walnut's going to have, you know, a similar tone to maple. It's going to be a brighter sound. And then, of course, the ash has a warmer, more mid-range, bass responsive tone. So I think it's a good balance.
Got Scott Janzer in here. He's asking,
Janzer.
Have you seen any of the newest seasons of It's Always Sunny? One of the best seasons in years, in my opinion.
I've seen a couple like parts here and there, but you know, we haven't been watching, like, we're not really watching cable anymore. In fact, we're actually getting rid of cable finally because we stream so much stuff now. You know, we're finally like, I guess we're probably into like 2015 technology. You know, we're not at 2025 yet. Like our son will make fun of us sometimes, but you know, yeah, I've seen a little bit here and there. I'm trying to remember the one I did watch recently, which one it was. I mean, I saw the slap fight one. That was pretty recent. I don't remember if that was this season or not, where they had like the cyber truck they were giving away. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty funny show.
Justin Lubers is asking, is there a major difference in tone between an alder and mahogany body?
What's up, Justin? Not a major difference. I guess the characteristics you're going to get out of mahogany is you're going to get a little warmer mid-range. That's what you can expect. Alder is an awesome all-around tone wood, so much so that we put that on standard. Alder, I think, gets kind of I think because we use it standard, people think that it's like a cheaper wood. It's expensive. Alder is not cheap at all. There's other woods that we offer that are more expensive than alder. And part of the reason why alder is a higher cost is there's knots in it and things like that we have to work around. So our yield is not as good. So just because it's our stock wood doesn't mean it's not great. It's a great wood. So much so that, we've had people like, Alan Holdsworth, he loved alder and birch. Those were his woods,
Can we get ring inlays with a solid crescent inlay?
I don't think we offer that. I'm not saying that wouldn't look cool, but I don't think it's something we're offering.
Scott Janzer says, an orchestral cellist friend of mine came over recently and said my Kiesels, especially the A2 and SH6, are the most beautiful instruments they've ever seen.
Oh, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
Would you ever do LED side dots or inlays?
As cool as LEDs are, and I love LEDs, I have a lot of LEDs at my house. Like my interior lighting, I got so much in LED, like my whole bar. I think we have when we added it up, I want to say it was like 200 feet of LED lights in our bar. Like no exaggeration. It's pretty cool looking. Looks like you're going through like light speed when you walk into the bar. It's like the walls and the ceilings, and it's pretty cool. So I love LEDs. Having said that, I've had like issues with my LEDs. There's constantly this one's having an issue or that one's having an issue. So what scares the shit out of me, like to no end, is putting in a really cool feature, albeit, having the LED, light up fretboard and then warrantying it. It's like, what if the LEDs last 2 years? Now I'm rebuilding necks. That's not a good problem. Really cool. It's not something we're looking into right now. I would like to work it out and figure it out.
Victoria is asking, do you offer 6130 frets? I think y'all called them wide low frets. I don't have a problem with my stainless steel regular size frets, but wide low is my true favorite.
I don't know if we have any more 6130s. You're exactly right. I don't know if I have any more of the 6130s here. It'd be something that you could ask, whoever your normal salesperson is, speak with them, and we could figure out if we still have those. If we don't, it wouldn't be something we'd bring in. But if we have it, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to do a build for you with it. It would just be one of those things where, of course, it'd be your guitar. We, custom build it for you, and it would be yours to keep. There'd be no trial period on it.
Robert is asking, is it still possible to get the original Osiris and Zeus shapes?
It is not. No, that ship has sailed. Those models were discontinued beginning of the year, and we had a window open to be able to place custom orders for those. I mean, you never know. Like, you look at the DC-127 that was discontinued in about 2015. 10 years later, maybe we'll offer the original shapes. Who knows?
Is Radiation Green still available? Also, is Copper Penny only available currently on the Phil McKnight model?
So Radiation Green would be a custom color at this point. We don't have it in stock. The Copper Penny is available on the Phil McKnight. We can do it on other models. It is it's a metallic, so I think our metallic charge is $300 for a finish like that.
I just joined in. How much is that Deal of the Live?
Deal of the Live is $16.99.
Can you still spray Harlequin Prismatic?
We don't offer it. I mean, in theory, we could spray it, but we don't offer that finish anymore. It'd be a custom finish at that point. We have to buy a certain size container, and I want to say like a container this big, just enough to spray like 2 guitars is like $1,100, $1,200 our cost. So it's a really expensive finish, and you're talking, if you're looking at spending like $2,000 on the finish with us, you could, give the guys a ring and try to order a guitar in it. But, if you're looking, hey, I want to get this option for like $300, It's not going to happen. It's very expensive. You know, I'm sure you guys all know oil's expensive now, which means every paint product, including the plastic cups that we mix our paints in, the lids, the liners, everything has gone up, you know, and we keep seeing increases every, you know, couple of months. There's a new increase. Oh, we just went up 13%. It's like when you're spending $100,000+ a year on paint, you know, and then, you know, or in one area of the paint department, and then that goes up 13%. That's big. That's massive, you know? So yeah, we spend a lot of money between like paint and sandpaper. I probably don't want to know how much we spend, but I would say it's probably 450, 500,000 a year. It's probably about what we spend just in paint products and sandpaper too. That'd be the same company that we get all of that from.
Do you have 5-way super switches in stock, or do we need to supply them?
Depends on the switch that you're wanting. We do have some super switch style switches here. It might not be the exact one you want. You know, that's getting into custom wiring. Some of these switches can be very complex. It sounds easy. You look at it, it's got like, you know, 3 banks on it, and then trying to figure out the exact combination you want can take our guys a couple of hours. So something like that, you know, it depends on what exactly you're wanting. If it's something that sounds straightforward, we could do. If not, we'll have to just pass. And it could be a project for like a tech that, you know, you have and trust locally. My biggest thing is I got to keep things rolling here and be efficient, because the moment we're not efficient, the costs really stack up. You know, if I have someone spending a tremendous amount of time on a custom project for a customer, I can't look at the 2 or 3 extra hours and look at what I pay that person. I need to look at how much we're not getting out because that person, I'm leaning on them to get these guitars out, and now I'm getting out 2 or 3 less guitars. That's a big deal. That's a huge cost. So we have to always be efficient here. So we have to be careful on some of the projects we take in. It's sometimes I get us in trouble saying yes. I got to say no more often. Well, then you're not a custom shop.
Got a question from Taylor. He's asking, do you need to have a top to have the rear natural back clear?
If you want paint, yeah. So if you're trying to paint like the top, we'd have to have something to mask like a perfect line all the way around. Yeah, so you would have to get a top on the instrument.
Got a question from your son.
Uh-oh.
He's asking, when is the last time you dropped a guitar?
Still, it was that fat boy in the showroom when I was probably, gosh, I don't know how old I was. Maybe I was 20, 21. I don't know how old I was, but somewhere between 18 and 21. So a long time ago. I would say in the 90s more than likely, you know. When was the last time you dropped a guitar? Brandon, have you ever dropped a guitar?
I've dropped my own guitar once. I was changing guitars side stage.
Oh, shit.
Threw on the strap, and I didn't have the bottom strap button, and it just fell like 5 feet straight to the concrete.
Oh.
But luckily, the only thing that really happened was it dented in the output jack. And there's like a couple little scratches. It was mostly fun. I thought I just like broke my guitar in half.
Was it one of ours?
Yeah, this was like a few years ago.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Yeah.
Savannah, have you ever dropped a guitar?
One or two have slipped while shooting.
Savannah is saying that she hasn't dropped any, but 1 or 2 have slipped off of the taped, I guess, stand that we have, and they've fallen. Dang. Onto a pad. Yeah, onto a soft pad. She has she puts like this like little thin, like kind of almost like a dog bed or a cat bed, like a mattress type thing down. So maybe it was your guitar and that's what's wrong with it.
It's Savannah's fault.
Savannah's fault.
Did you ever test having the full Kisa logo on a Kyber headstock, or was it always the K?
We didn't try the full Kiesel logo. We never really wanted the full Kiesel logo. We just wanted, like for me, I wanted something that was, I feel like less is more in this case. Looking at this headstock, I think the design is really cool. I really like how it looks, and I think just the K is really classy. And so I feel like less is more, and I never tried the full logo on there because I feel like at this point, people know who we are. And if they don't, they're going to be like, who's that? What brand is that? That's cool. Or, oh, I don't like that. That's ugly. I wouldn't buy one of those K guitars anyway. Either way, I don't know. Either they're going to look into us or be like, I wouldn't buy one of those. And that's okay. We're not trying to be something we're not. We're happy where we are. We're happy with the guitars we make. We think they're the best guitars. I have my Monday morning meetings, and the staff here is just, we are at an all-time high for production quality. Last week, we had in final QC, out of the 78 or so guitars that came through, we had 0 have to go back. And what that shows me is there's so much pride in what everybody's doing. And I mean, that's amazing, and so we're just really, really working hard and paying attention, and it's everybody out there. They're amazing. So we have the best staff we've ever had. I keep saying that and I keep repeating that, but the staff is getting better and better. And then just when you think like, what would we do without this one person? That person leaves and goes and does something else. And you're like, man, what are we going to do? I swear someone better fills their shoes. And we're like, man, this is awesome. So, sometimes you get some fresh blood in a position here, and it really, they shine. That's cool. What was the question?
We're a little over 30 minutes. You want to do 3 more questions?
Sure, that sounds good.
How do I get alerted when my build is done and you need a final payment?
So it depends on how you place the order. I believe that if you place it online, you get an email notification letting you know that you need to go in, log in, and make your final payment. If you place it over the phone, you get a phone call from probably Chelsea that is up front, and she'll give you a call to get your final payment. So that should be one of the 2 ways that you get notified.
Can you do a finish on swamp ash that makes it look like driftwood?
The closest thing I can think of is what we call summer ash treatment, and that can give that kind of vibe.
Looking for one last good one.
Man, he says the rest of you guys, your questions suck. That's Brandon. That wasn't me.
Here we go. Do you guys offer stacked volume and tone knobs?
We don't have stacked volume and tone in a normal capacity. We do have them in active. We do have them on Devin's guitar. So we have them in like kind of 2 unique cases, but just for a general passive guitar, we don't offer that. But for like an active bass, we do. And it's not a volume and a tone that's stacked. It would be a stacked control. So it'd be like a mid that's sweepable, or it'd be a stacked bass and treble. If it's something that you're wanting, we could potentially look at, custom wiring and doing something for you. Again, we just have to be really careful with that. And so kind of what happens is the price we need to charge to do custom wiring is going to be really expensive because of the efficiency we lose out on. You may look and go, wow, you want how much? And that's because we don't do it often enough. It's going to take us time, and that time is going to mean we're going to back up in an area, and then I'm going to have to pay people overtime to stay late. And, we're trying to stay in our lane with what we're really good at. We started offering alternate tunings recently, which I think is really cool. So that's some customizable stuff that you guys can get. But if you want something really special on your wiring, I would suggest buying a soldering iron, watch some YouTube videos, try doing it yourself. It's really not hard. It just takes time, right? So if you got, YouTube, headphone, your favorite beverage, and a little bit of time, I think you could do it yourself. Thanks, guys, for watching, hanging out. Bummed the Deal of the Live didn't go to somebody. I thought that one was going to fly right off the shelf. But on that note, enjoy your week. I'll see you next week.